There has been anger and anguish at Muan Airport overnight following confirmation that all but 2 people on board were killed in South Korea's deadliest aviation accident in decades. Investigations are now underway to determine the cause of the crash landing, which saw the passenger jet careen down the runway before hitting a wall that some say shouldn't have even been there and bursting into flames. Senior correspondent Lisette Raymer reports.
179 lives gone in an instant. But the shock, anguish and questions are growing exponentially. A Jeju Air flight skidding off the runway and crashing into a concrete wall, exploding into catastrophe. Rescuers worked overnight, struggling to search through a plane ripped apart. Some passengers identified only by their fingerprints. Many on board were holidaymakers, returning from a 5-day Christmas tour to Thailand. Their loved ones, waiting for reunions in the arrivals hall, were robbed of the chance to hear their stories. Left waiting instead as the list of victims' names were read aloud, the youngest just 3 years old. There are reports one passenger texted a relative to say a bird was stuck in the wing of the plane, followed by the message, "Should I say my last words?"
I want to give my sincere apology and condolences to those who have lost their lives in the accident and their families. At the moment, it is hard to presume the cause of the accident, and we have to wait for the official investigation result from the authority.
Jeju Air, a low-cost carrier with a strong safety record over its 2 decades of flying, is now at the centre of South Korea's deadliest aviation disaster in decades. Both black boxes and flight and cockpit recorders have been recovered, with the initial focus placed on warnings given to the pilot of potential bird strikes as the plane approached the airport. Social media footage shows an explosion in the right engine, and large flocks are common in the area at this time of year. Just 2 minutes after the initial warning, a Mayday distress call was made. The control tower then cleared the pilots to make another landing attempt from the northern end of the airport. At the end of the runway is a concrete platform which holds guidance systems used for landing when visibility is poor. It was this solid structure that the aircraft crashed into at high speed.
It's level ground beyond that. There was plenty of space for the aircraft to have slowed down, come to a halt, and I think everybody would have been alive. But to have a hard object about 200 metres or less into the overrun, I've never seen anything like this anywhere ever before. Not only is there no justification, I think it's verging on criminal to have it there.
Of the 181 on board, remarkably, 2 at the back of the aircraft survived. A 33-year-old flight attendant transferred to hospital in the capital, Seoul, is now awake and speaking with doctors, while the other is said to be in a stable condition. South Korea's new acting president, who has been in the job just days, has quickly declared the crash site a special disaster zone.
As the acting head of the government responsible for the safety and lives of our residents, I feel an indescribable sorrow and profound regret.
7 days of national mourning were also announced, but there will be weeks, if not months, of investigations ahead and years of agony.